Now, is it visible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So profit is calculated. Profit has to be calculated, and that profit has to be shown to the entrepreneur. Has to be shown to the entrepreneur. So profit actually the managerial task manager has to maximize profit. If the manager can show more profit, then manager's job or the manager will be able to stay in that longer in the organization long time, and the manager's salary and all that will also increase. That is why manager will always try to maximize profit. But how the profit will be maximized? See, let's take an example. Suppose a manufacturer is producing any type of cosmetics, so that when the manufacturer produces cosmetics, that incurs certain amount of cost. Say for example, to produce one unit, maybe one piece of lipstick or one piece of any type of cream, skin cream or whatever. To produce that, for example, 10 rupees is spent. So cost of production is rupees 10. Now you see that particular product, if that particular product is sold at rupees 15, so that is the market price, rupees 15, then we say the profit of this product is 5 rupees. So how profit is calculated here? Profit is calculated here. This market price means at what price these products are sold into the number of units sold. Suppose the producer has produced 10 units of that product. 10 units, the quantity of the product is 10. So and the market price is denoted by P. Market price is rupees 15 per unit. So total revenue earned by the manufacturer is equal to price into quantity. Price into quantity is the total revenue. So price is per unit price is rupees 15, and the quantity 10 numbers of products are produced. So the total revenue earned by that manufacturer is 150. Total revenue earned by the manufacturer is 150. So 150 is the total revenue, and say for example, per unit cost of production is rupees 10. Per unit cost of production is rupees 10. See, this rupees 10 is the per unit cost of production, and total cost will be then number of units produced. So number of units produced, C Q is equal to 10. Q is equal to 10. So total cost is 10 into 10 is equal to rupees 100. So total cost is rupees 100. Total cost is rupees 100, and total revenue is equal to 150. So here profit is calculated as, if it is denoted by pi, total revenue minus total cost is equal to 150 is total revenue minus 100. So rupees 50 is the profit. Rupees 50 is the profit. So how profit has been calculated? Profit has been calculated as total revenue minus total cost. So this is another definition of calculation of profit. So profit can be calculated as total revenue minus total cost. But here this total cost may be of different types. If we give an example of the total cost, that what the manager or the entrepreneurs usually spend, say to purchase the raw materials, the entrepreneur used to spend. To pay the salary of the managers, entrepreneurs pay the money. Then to pay the other laborers, managers, entrepreneur also pay the money. So there are certain costs which are incurred to produce that product, and the entrepreneur is also involved. So since entrepreneur is also involved, he also wants to take certain amount for spending or rendering his service that as laborers. So that amount of money he also wants to get. This is another type of cost. And if the amount of money invested by the entrepreneur, that amount of the money what has been invested by the entrepreneur, that has also interest, because if that money, instead of investing by the entrepreneur, if that money is borrowed from banks or any other financial institutions, there also the entrepreneur has to pay the interest. So the money is invested by the entrepreneur, that means entrepreneur's own capital, if the money invested by the entrepreneur himself or herself, that has also the interest. So here there are different types of costs. You see, one type of cost is paid to others, that means which is outflown, which go away, which is paid outside of the organization. Another type of cost, what is paid to that entrepreneur himself or herself. If I repeat again, if the money is invested by the, if the money is invested by the entrepreneur himself, for that also that money, for the invested money, there are certain amount of interest what the entrepreneur himself takes. Such type of cost is called the implicit cost. Such type of cost is called the implicit cost. But if that money is borrowed from other organizations for which the interest is paid to that organization, for which money is paid outside of the organization, such type of cost is called the explicit cost. When the entrepreneur pays money to the laborers, to the managers, or to the persons, those whom will be paid, and the money go away from the organization, those are called the explicit costs. So the total cost includes both explicit costs and implicit costs. Total cost is equal to explicit plus implicit cost. Implicit cost. So I hope you are clear. This total cost includes explicit cost and implicit cost. And profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. That means profit is equal to PR minus TC, where PR minus TC is equal to explicit cost plus implicit cost. Now you see, if you only exclude the explicit cost from the total revenue, then the profit what you will get is called the gross profit. Gross profit is equal to total revenue minus total explicit cost. So gross profit is equal to total revenue minus explicit cost. Why only explicit cost is considered here in gross profit? Because implicit cost is the cost which is paid to the entrepreneur himself or herself, because entrepreneur himself has invested, and also the entrepreneur gets profit. That is why in some cases it is considered the implicit cost is included in profit. That is why implicit cost is not always deducted from the total revenue. And if from the total revenue explicit cost is only deducted, then we calculate the gross profit. And if from total revenue both the explicit and implicit costs are deducted, then we get the net profit or pure profit. So ER minus explicit cost plus implicit cost. So those are the concepts of profit. There are two concepts. One is gross profit. Another is net profit or the pure profit. Gross profit. In case of gross profit, explicit cost is only deducted from the total revenue, and in case of net profit or pure profit, both the explicit and the implicit costs are deducted. What is explicit cost? The costs which are paid outside, paid to the people outside the organizations. That means the money go away from the organization. And the implicit cost, the cost which is paid or retained within the organization, because it is the cost of the entrepreneur. If entrepreneur himself the manager, or if the entrepreneur himself is the managing director or the executives of the organization, then for his labor he will also charge certain amount of money. That money he pays himself. That is why since it is within the organization, it is considered as the implicit cost. And also since he himself is the entrepreneur, so he will take profit. That is why in some cases, profit is calculated here means total revenue minus explicit cost, because implicit cost is already included. It is implicit cost is always included under profit. But if you want to calculate actual profit, net profit, then both the explicit and implicit costs have to be deducted from the total revenue, because the entrepreneur is also rendering his service. So for which there are certain things for which the money has to be paid, because instead of his labor, if somebody else is employed there, then the entrepreneur has to pay. That is why it is considered. This is deducted from the total revenue. And on the other hand, if money is borrowed from the other financial institutions, then also interest has to be paid. That is why, in case of net profit, to calculate net profit or the pure profit, implicit cost is deducted. So far what I have taught you, is the profit. What is profit? The definition of profit is, first I said, since it is one of the factors of production, that is why it is one of the it is the factor price of the factors of production organization is profit. Factors of production, it is factor price of the organization, of the factor of production organization is profit. In other way, how profit is calculated? Profit is calculated by deducting total cost from the total revenue. So profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. Say for example, I have given one example. Per unit cost, for example, per unit cost is ₹10 to produce any type of product. Per unit cost, and the market price at which the products are sold in the market is ₹15. Say for example, 10 units of the products have been produced by the manufacturer. So total cost will be per unit cost ₹10 into number of quantity produced. So 10 into 10 is equal to 100 total cost. And then total revenue is equal to P into Q. Market price is ₹15. Market price is ₹15, and number of units sold or the produced is 10 units. So total revenue earned by the manufacturer or the entrepreneur is ₹150. So by the definition or by the formula of total formula of profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. So this is 150 minus 100 is equal to 50. Again, next I said cost includes both the explicit cost and implicit cost. What is explicit cost? Explicit costs are those costs which are paid to the factors of production, and goes away from the organization. And the implicit costs are the costs which are paid to the factors of production, but it remains within the organization. Since it remains within the organization, that is why it is also assumed. It is included in the profit. That is why sometimes explicit cost is only excluded from the total revenue. If from the total revenue only explicit cost is deducted, such type of profit is called the gross profit. And if both the explicit and implicit costs are deducted from total revenue, then such the amount of profit what is calculated is called the net profit. So far what I have taught. Now next, being a manager, see this is just how to calculate profit. I have shown you how the profit is calculated. It is very simple. By deducting total revenue, total cost from total revenue, profit is calculated. But now the question arises to the manager. Manager has to maximize profit. So how the profit will be maximized? What is profit maximization condition? So far, what we have known that profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. Mathematically, you have to derive the profit maximization condition. Most important for the examination, frequently comes in the examination. So total revenue minus total cost. So if I write again, profit pi is equal to TR minus TC. You know, you have studied in mathematics maximization condition. There to maximize any function, there are two conditions. What are those two conditions? The conditions are first order condition and second order condition. First order condition is called the necessary condition, and the second order condition is called the sufficient condition. So first order condition is equal to 0 and the second order condition is less than 0 for maximization of a function. So that maximization of
talking about the derivative, first order, second order.
Yes, derivative will do it now. So so the first order condition and the second order condition. First order condition is written as FOC and the second order condition is called written as SOC. FOC is called necessary condition, and SOC is the sufficient condition. So first order condition is equal to 0. First order condition is equal to 0, and the second order condition, if you don't see, then you tell me, because both the second order condition is less than 0. So here last class also I said, if the function is revenue function, revenue is maximized. If the function is profit function, profit is maximized. If the function is cost function, then cost is minimized. That is why either minimization or maximization is called the optimization of a function. Here the profit, the managerial task is to optimize the objective function. After that, you have to know what is the objective function, what is the nature of the objective function, whether it's a profit function, revenue function, or the cost function. So here the manager's job or managerial objective function, is the profit function. Since manager's objective function is a profit function, so the manager will maximize, to optimize this objective function, manager will maximize the profit function. So first order condition and the second order condition. You can use the notations of D as derivative, or you can by delta also you can write first order condition is equal to 0. So here delta pi by delta q. Why delta pi by delta q? Because revenue, you see here, revenue is P into Q. Total revenue is equal to P into Q. So total revenue is the function of Q, means output. Again, if you see the total cost also I calculated here 10 into 10. What is first 10? This first 10 is the per unit price, and this is the number of units of output produced. So this is also function of output. So both the revenue, total revenue and total cost are the function of output. Therefore, the profit will also be function of output, because it is total revenue and total cost. Both the total revenue is also the function of output. This is also total cost is also the function of output. Therefore, profit will also be the function of output. That is why the derivative will be done with respect to Q. So delta Q by delta pi by delta Q. Pi is the profit, or you may write in this way also. Delta pi, it is partial derivative by delta Q. It may be difficult. That's what I am not using this notation. Delta pi by delta Q, or this delta you can use also like a triangle. Delta pi by delta Q is equal to.
Delta means cost change.
It is the partial derivative. Delta means here denoted by D. If you want, you can write in this way also. Delta TR partial derivative by delta Q minus delta TC by delta Q, in this way. This can also be written. Instead of this triangle, you may use such delta. It is, see, it is not P. You may write D also. This is derivative, differentiation. So delta means partial derivative. With respect to Q only you are doing. So delta TR by delta Q minus delta TC by delta Q is equal to 0, because first order condition is equal to 0. first order condition is equal to 0. Now this delta TR by delta Q is nothing but the slope of the total revenue curve. Total revenue curve is called the marginal revenue, MR. MR minus marginal cost, MC, is equal to 0. So here by taking this MC right side, MR equal to MC, the first order condition. First order condition. So from first order condition, differentiating the first order condition and equating to 0, then delta TR by delta Q minus delta TC by delta Q is equal to 0. Delta TR by delta Q equal to MR and delta TC by delta Q equal to MC is equal to 0. So MR is equal to MC. Is the equation 1. Equation 1. So from first order condition, we get MR equal to MC. We get MR because this is MC. We get MR equal to MC. MR equal to MC. This is the first condition. First condition. From the necessary condition we derive. Now let's see the second order condition. Second order condition shows. This is the first order condition we have done. Second order condition, delta 2 TR by delta Q square minus delta 2 TC by delta Q square less than 0, because you see here second order condition is less than 0. So this is less than 0. So this is what? This is first order. After first order condition we have derived, this is delta TR by delta Q equal to MR. That means again we may write in this way, delta 2 TR means delta MR by delta Q minus this delta TC by delta Q equal to MC. So this is second order. So delta MC by delta Q less than 0. Now this is what? This is slope of MR. So slope of MR less than slope of MC. So slope of MR is less than slope of MC. Slope of MR is less than slope of MC. So from here we can derive MC cuts MR from below. You may write in this way, or you may write slope of MR is less than slope of MC. So this is second equation number 2. So from first order condition, by equating the differentiating the first order condition and equating to 0 as per the norms of maximization of a function, we get MR equal to MC, condition 1 or the equation 1, and from second order condition as per the maximization of a function, we are differentiating the total revenue and cost function up to the second order less than 0, we get the slope of MR is less than slope of MC, from which we can conclude MC cuts MR curve from below. This can be drawn through a diagram also. Wait 1 minute. Now let me draw this diagram. It will be clear. Say a two-dimensional diagram is drawn here. In horizontal axis we are measuring output. Output means the quantity of the product produced, And here we are measuring MR, MC, price also you may measure here, price, no problem. And then this is, you will know in, you have already studied in perfect competition. Here MR curve is parallel to the horizontal axis, or parallel to the horizontal axis. Say this is price, and MC curve we are deriving like this. MC is U-shaped curve, that also you have studied in first semester. So now MC is U-shaped curve, cost curve, and AR is parallel. AR and MR curve is parallel to the horizontal axis. Now see, look at your notes, what you have noted. There are two conditions. First condition, MR equal to MC. So when the two curves will be equated to each other, when they intersect to each other, Look at this diagram. This is MR curve. This horizontal line is MR curve, and this is MC curve. So both the curves have intersected 2 points. This is 1 point. This is 1 point. This is 1 point. So at this point, since MR and MC have intersected to each other, so here also MR equal to MC. Here also MR equal to MC. And at this point also you see, both MR and MC have intersected to each other. So at this point also MR equal to MC. So in both the points, MR equal to MC. So first order conditions are fulfilled in both these points because MR and MC have intersected to each other. So can we conclude both these points are the profit maximizing points? No, we cannot conclude, because for that we need to look to the second order condition. Second order condition says MR is less than MC. See, this is MR is less than MC. MR means slope of MR is less than MC. So from where we can derive MC cuts MR from below. Now you see the tendency of MC curve. MC is downward sloping. Here MC is upward rising. So here MC curve cuts MR curve from above, not from below. MC cuts MR curve from above. Here MC cuts MR from below. So this is not profit maximizing point. Why? Because here MC cuts MR from above, but here MC cuts MR from below. That is why this point is profit maximizing point. And the respective price will be equilibrium price. This respective price will be the equilibrium price, and the respective quantity, amount of quantity will be the equilibrium quantity. So this is the graphical presentation of the profit maximization. Here mathematically we have derived, there are two conditions of maximization of a profit. What are those two conditions? First condition is by differentiating this first order total revenue and total cost means profit function, we are getting MR equal to MC. In this diagram, in both the points, MR equal to MC, because MC and MR curve have intersected to each other at 2 points. Since they have intersected to each other at 2 points, therefore MR is equal to MC at both the points. Now, but both the points cannot be profit maximizing point. Why? Because here, though the price level is same at the both, this is the amount of equilibrium price, say rupees 10, rupees 15, rupees 30, whatever, but the amount of quantity is different. Here amount of quantity is this much, here amount of quantity will be this much. If you draw this, the amount of quantity will be this much. So with respect to this point, say this is name A, this is name B. So at with respect to the point A, so the amount of quantity is this much less. With respect to the quantity B, amount of quantity is more. So which amount of quantity the manager will produce to maximize the product? The question arises. For that, from the second order condition, though first order condition satisfies both the points, but the second order condition fulfills only at B, because MC cuts MR curve from below. Therefore, this say this is this point is T. So OT amount of quantity the manager will produce, and that product will be sold at price OP. So OT amount, equilibrium quantity, OT amount of product will be, say OT amount is equal to, for example, 25. So 25 units of lipsticks, for example, will be produced, and that would be sold at this price OP. OP is the equilibrium price. It will be sold at OP amount of price. Say OP amount is rupees 15. So per unit of product would be sold. At rupees 15, and 25 units of the product should be produced by the manufacturer. If we go to from the back calculation, you see from this example, PR is equal to, PR is equal to P into Q. You have already known P into Q. P is what? P is rupees 15, and amount of output is 25. So 25 into is how much? 250 and 375. So 375 rupees is the total revenue. 375 rupees is the total revenue. Now, for example, from here cost is not derived. Suppose per unit cost is, for example, rupees 10. So 10 into 25 units, 10 into 25 units of the product, 10 into 25 units of the products have been produced. So 250 is the total cost. So now from here, profit is equal to PR minus TC. PR is equal to 375 and minus total cost is equal to 250. So is equal to 375 minus 250, 125. 125 is the profit. This is the maximum profit. If the manufacturer produces more than 25 units of the product, then the profit will not be maximized. If the manufacturer produces less than 25 units of product, then also profit will not be maximized. That is why exactly 25 units of the product the manager has to produce to maximize the profit. That is why profit maximization theory is popular, to know how much unit of the product has to be produced by the manufacturer and at what price those products should be sold out in the market. This is the profit maximization theory. And there are certain assumptions. This note I shall forward. You will read it. And limitations, shortcomings are also the limitations. See, this is again I shall be teaching this same topic next class. This total revenue
needs to be fulfilled.
One minute. So this total revenue again can be split up into the P into Q also. That can also be derived. P price equal to marginal cost, that can also be calculated. So you will know gradually those. If we split up those total revenue and total cost function, also fixed cost, marginal cost, fixed cost, and variable cost and all. So that will know gradually afterwards. While giving, when I said give you some problems, mathematical problem, you will know this, how to calculate how mathematical problems also I shall try to give you. Now, to make it simple, this total revenue and total cost, I have not split it up as per their functions. So only you know the profit maximization theory. Let me sum up once again. Next class, I shall ask some students to brief this today's class. After that, the same theory I shall be teaching. First, what I have taught. The what is profit. There, first I said, since it is one of the factors of production, therefore the factor price of the factors of production organization is called profit. But to calculate profit is calculated by total revenue minus total cost. But this total cost includes both the explicit cost and implicit cost. Explicit costs are those costs which are paid to the outside economic units, which go away from the amount of money go away from the organization, and implicit costs usually remain within the organization. That is why sometimes implicit cost is deducted, sometimes it is not deducted. If implicit cost is deducted from the total revenue, that means explicit and implicit both are deducted, is called net profit. If implicit is not deducted, only explicit cost is deducted from the total revenue, then it is called the gross profit. So those are the concepts Those are the concepts of profit. After that, I said how the profit is maximized. For maximization of a function, you have studied in mathematics. There are two conditions. One is first order condition. Second is second order condition. First order condition is called the necessary condition. Second order is called the sufficient condition. So our profit managerial, what is the manager's objective function? Manager has to optimize the objective function. If the objective function is revenue function or the sales function or the profit function, usually that has to be maximized. If the manager's objective function is a cost function, then that has to be minimized. So since here the manager's function is profit function, so profit function pi is equal to TR minus TC. So the profit function will be maximized. So here the maximization conditions will be applied, for which that first order condition is equal to 0 and second order condition is less than 0. First order condition del pi by del q or delta pi by del q in the way you like, you can write, is equal to delta TR by delta q minus delta TC by delta q is equal to 0, because here this first order condition is equal to 0. Then from there we have derived MR equal to MC. So from first order condition we derive the equation MR equal to MC. This is the first condition. And mathematically the second order condition of the same profit function, delta 2 TR by delta q square minus delta 2. Here you may use this triangle type also instead of this delta. There is no problem. So delta 2 TC by delta q square less than 0 as per this condition. Mathematics what you have learned. So from there we derive slope of MR less than slope of MC. Slope of MR less than slope of MC, which implies that MC cuts MR from below. So those are the mathematical functions from where we derive or we maximize the profit. Then after maximization, deriving mathematically, that has to be shown graphically. So two-dimensional diagram we have drawn here. In horizontal axis we measure output, and the vertical axis we measure this revenue, marginal cost, price, etc., etc. Now we have already learned in first semester this AR and MR curve is parallel to the horizontal axis. So what is called price? So price equal to AR equal to MR. Here this is equal to price also. AR equal to MR equal to price. So it is parallel to the horizontal axis, and the MC curve is U-shaped curve. Now from the first order condition we found that MC equal to MR, when MC will be equal to MR when those two curves intersect to each other. Here in this diagrammatical presentation you see there are 2 points A and B. On those 2 points both the curves MC and MR have intersected to each other. So at point A, MC and MR have intersected to each other. So at A, MR equal to MC, and at B also MC and MR have intersected to each other. So at point B, MC equal to MR. So first order condition satisfies in both the points A and B. But whether both the points will be the profit maximizing point or equilibrium point? No. So because both the points will give different amounts of output. So which one will be considered? For which you need to look into the second order condition. Second order condition says that MC cuts MR from below. If you look into the point A, then MC cuts the MR curve from above, not from below. So since it cuts the MR curve, MC cuts MR curve from above, so this cannot be considered as the profit maximizing point. Then look into the point B. At point B, MC cuts MR from below. So here the second order condition is fulfilled. Since second order condition is fulfilled at point B, therefore it can be considered as the profit maximizing point. So you see at point B, both the conditions of maximization of profit are fulfilled. So B is considered as the equilibrium point as well as the profit maximizing point. Now the respective price of B is P here, and the OP, this is P for example. So OP is the equilibrium price. And the respective amount of output OT, OT is the equilibrium amount of quantity, say OT is equal to, for example, 25 units and OP is 15 rupees. OP is 15 rupees. So now the equilibrium quantity we have got, equilibrium price also we have got. So if we want to calculate, total revenue is equal to P into Q. We have already known P is 15 and market price 15, for example, and here, not for example, here we have already got 15 and amount of output is 25. So P into Q is equal to 15 into 25 is equal to rupees 375. So the firm earns 375 rupees. This is total earning. 375 is the total earning. Now, for example, total cost what the firm has spent, the total cost what the firm has spent rupees 10 per unit. It may be calculated direct to 50 also total cost, but here the figure is given per unit cost of product to produce 1 unit of the product, rupees 10 has been spent by the firm and 25 units have been produced. So altogether total cost comes to 10 into 25 is equal to 250 rupees. So total cost is 250 rupees, total revenue is 375. So total profit comes as TR minus TC, 375 minus 250, 125. So 125 rupees is the profit. If the firm produces more than 25 units of the product, then that also per unit cost will be more. So the firm cannot produce more than 25 because it is the equilibrium amount of quantity or equilibrium quantity. If the firm produces less than that, that also will not maximize the profit. So profit will be maximized exactly at the amount of output 25 if the firm produces. So this is all about the profit maximization theory. Next class again I shall be repeating this before that you need to study.